Green Bay Packers battle the Dallas Cowboys, and the Chiefs are finally back. The Ravens get destroyed. Let's talk sports. How y'all doing? Welcome to another episode, guys. It is NFL Week 4 Sunday. It's a Sunday. I've been watching football all morning. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I think I'm kind of football brain dead. Waking up, at 7 a.m. to watch some football, and then, continuing to watch football for the whole entire day till now. I mean, guys, that was kind of tiring. I can't even lie to you. But I had a blast watching a lot of the Sunday action, guys. Even the Sunday morning football game. I was pretty surprised how fun that game actually was. It was a pretty close game. And then I just got done watching the Sunday night football game, and that shit was fucking legendary. I mean, we had the Green Bay Packers, the Dallas Cowboys tie up the goddamn game. There's some new overtime rules now where if, the game can end in a tie, and these guys were able to tie it up by 40-40. That is just absolutely insane in my opinion. I mean, I'll just be real, guys. I think the Dallas Cowboys looked absolutely fantastic in this game. Dak Prescott was going crazy. George Pickens was replacing CeeDee Lamb for this game. And it's like George Pickens, picked up everything that CeeDee Lamb's good at, plus everything George Pickens was good at in the Steelers, and kind of just combines it together and just goes fucking absolutely insane. I mean, goddamn. This man was making some of the hardest catches in his life, some of the most easiest catches in his life. I mean, holy shit, Dak Prescott was chunking that goddamn ball. It was honestly awesome in my opinion. Seeing Dak Prescott fired up every time that man got a touchdown. And I really loved how the Dallas Cowboys really attacked in this game. And, a lot of the things that I've been saying about some of the NFL teams that they've been doing a lot lately, I feel like we're all like about field goals. We're about to be conservative, keeping that conservative play going. I really like it when teams are like, we need to win a football game, and we're going to try our absolute hardest to win a football game. And I think these two teams really tried their hardest. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys would score, and then the Green Bay Packers would respond and score. And it just kept happening over and over and over again. And it was kind of weird because the first quarter and the second quarter, it kind of felt like the Cowboys were a little bit given up. They had to have that second quarter spark, and then that carried throughout the rest of the entire game. And you know how that happened, guys? Somehow, out of all teams in the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys are the ones to actually block a fucking punt. They blocked a whole ass punt, and then they ran it back for 2 points. I mean, that is just absolutely insane in my opinion. I mean, he just grabbed that ball and went fucking running down there, going absolutely insane. And then after that, it's like the Dallas Cowboys got it was like meth. Meth shot up into their system, and they went fucking insane. Dak Prescott looked juiced up. George Pickens looked like he was catching, almost every single pass that he was given to. I mean, it was just absolutely beautiful to watch. Jordan Love was playing pretty good. Micah Parsons was delivering that pressure, making Dak Prescott, there were some throws where I thought Dak Prescott was going to get his ass sacked, but he was able to manage to get him off before, anything bad would happen. So that's definitely a really good thing in my opinion. I just like the intensity that this game was. It was action-packed. After that second quarter trial, this game just became a whole different football game. It honestly became a classic in my opinion. I mean, honestly, guys, at one point, I thought the Dallas Cowboys were probably going to win this football game. I will just be goddamn real with you. They were in the lead. We were in overtime, and they were in the lead. And then there was that, where Jordan Love was taking so much time off the clock where they could barely even get a field goal out. I mean, he took so much time off the clock that there was only 1 second. One single goddamn second. I mean, holy shit. I mean, that is just bad luck right there. But they were able to get the field goal off. They were able to tie up the game. And I guess these games can end a tie now. They don't want to do the old overtime rules where, only one team gets a touchdown. Now it's like college where, now, if you win the coin toss or you lose it or whatever, you get a chance to get your chance at possession or whatever. You get to choose that. So that's a really cool thing. I like that you get to choose that stuff, etc., guys. I really like this game. It does suck that this game had to end in a tie, but it's one of those ties where I guess it makes sense. Or maybe it doesn't make sense. You know, you got the Green Bay Packers at 40. You got the Dallas Cowboys at 40. I mean, I wish my Lions could have tied up with the Packers. You know, that would have been really cool. Instead of fucking getting my ass beat. You know, that would have been fine. But I really liked how the Dallas Cowboys played today. George Pickens looked absolutely insane. Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys offense, in my opinion today, are going to get an 8 out of 10. I think they played great. Defensively, too, I think the defense on both sides of the ball wasn't that good. You know, I will be real. Dallas defense does look limited, and that is a problem if they're going to be going up against all these opponents. But I do like how you know, they'd made some quarter adjustments. They made some halftime and adjustments, and they actually, you know, really bossed up and really tried to stop the Packers, and they had them for a minute. But, you know, when you got Jordan Love going crazy, throwing that goddamn ball, I mean, what else could you goddamn do? Now, guys, let's move on to the morning clock game. This was at like 8 a.m. The Minnesota Vikings taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I will be real, I was kind of surprised. You know, in my predictions, I said the Vikings were going to win. I said Carson Wentz is going to, you know, beat up Aaron Rodgers. You know, he's going to fuck up Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be goddamn throwing that goddamn ball. And it was the opposite. Carson Wentz couldn't do anything in this game. And Aaron Rodgers was actually the one being able to sling the ball off, being able to actually get some really nice touchdown passes. I'll be real. I liked how the Steelers played today. Even the defense, you know, TJ Watt got an interception. There were some sacks that were happening in this game. It felt like the Steelers' defense was a little back. You know, for the past couple of weeks, the Steelers' defense, in my opinion, has not been that good. You know, they look uninspired, they look lazy, etc. For some reason, they went to Ireland and they said, you know what, we're going to play our absolute fucking hardest. So, I guess, you know, you have to go to Ireland if you're the Steelers. But as long as they go to Ireland, they go to Dublin, they will completely win. I like that. And then unexpectedly, another prediction that I definitely got wrong was the Washington Commanders going up against the Atlanta Falcons. I thought the Atlanta Falcons were cooked, but Michael Penix Jr. said, nah. You know, don't forget the Atlanta Falcons name. 27-34. I mean, goddamn. I should never said the Washington Commanders were going to win this game. I was wrong. Their backup sucks, and they need Jaden Daniels really bad, all right? 27-34. I was watching the red zone highlights, and every time they went to the red zone, the Atlanta Falcons were fucking them up. I mean, every single time. It was kind of funny, in my opinion. And, and then this game right here, 19-31, the Saints going up against the Buffalo Bills. Every time this game kept coming on for me, these people kept saying the Saints were making this game close. And I guess, yeah, they could be close. But quarter 2, they didn't have no points. But then quarter 3, they had a touchdown. And then quarter 4, they had 10 points. So, I don't know what they were talking about on the media side of things. But the Saints were not doing good. Spencer Rattler looked like a joke in there. Buffalo Bills looked like a joke too. I mean, these guys should play a lot better. I mean, they were genuinely goddamn struggling in the beginning. I mean, they got a couple of touchdowns in, etc. But I'll just be real. I think this team, you know, could have done a lot better. Now, another team that I'm very excited that won is the Cleveland Browns going up against my team, my favorite football team in the whole world, is the Lions, the best football team. 10-34, they went up against the Cleveland's defense, and they completely smacked that goddamn... You know, they completely smacked that defense around. I mean, that shit was beautiful to see. My Lions were just scoring touchdowns and touchdowns and touchdowns. I was a little worried because Jared Goff did throw an interception, so I was a little worried. But then I remember that the Cleveland's offense is completely ass. You know, Joe Flacco ain't doing a goddamn thing. Let's just be goddamn real. 10-34. I loved how the Lions played. You know, they're looking good. You know, I'm just telling y'all, you know, look, you caught the Lions on a bad day. The Packers did. Once we get that Packers rematch, my Lions team's going to fuck up the Packers. Another team that really needed a win, and a win that I expected Houston to win. Thank God they won, even though it felt like they were kind of barely winning. I mean, they had a field goal at quarter one. They had a field goal at quarter two. The Tennessee Titans go up against the Houston Texans. 0-26. Cam Ward couldn't even get a touchdown. And honestly, these guys couldn't even get a touchdown until quarter four. So, honestly, am I even giving Houston Texans that much praise? No. They didn't look dominant at all. That defense didn't look dominant at all. I mean, they kept the Tennessee Titans at 0. But you can keep the Tennessee Titans at 0 if you're a decent football team. Let's just be real. I mean, the Tennessee Titans are like the meth heads of football. You know, they just completely suck ass. So that's kind of funny that the Houston Texans were able to, win this game. Finally, they win one game in their life. And then another game that was really good, which the Carolina Panthers go up against the Patriots. The Patriots completely fucked over the Carolina Panthers. 13-42. Thank God. It looked like the Patriots were really struggling in this season. I thought that, their quarterback, Drake May, was looking completely ass. The beginning of the season, I was wondering, did Drake May lose his touch? But no, he had to go up against the Carolina Panthers. Maybe that gives him some confidence back. I will say, good job beating the Carolina Panthers, because the Panthers were able to piece up the Atlanta Falcons. So, that's something. Chargers go up against Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart, this is his first game starting against the Giants. And the Giants actually win this football game. I couldn't believe it. I'll be real. This was the undefeated Chargers. This was Justin Herbert. I trusted Justin Herbert to easily win this game. And the Giants proved me wrong. Jackson Dart, went up there and, completely killed it. And I'll be real, guys. Jackson Dart looked pretty good in my opinion. I mean, that man came up there, he was making them easy passes, and he was able to scramble the ball. Russell Wilson, he can't scramble for shit. You'd be lucky if, Russell Wilson can even run the ball. I mean, holy shit. Jackson Dart came in there, his rookie start, he was able to take down a pretty impressive team. I mean, the Chargers, everybody was thinking these guys might go to the Super Bowl, or they might win, they might win the AFC or some shit like that because they beat the Chiefs. And, the Giants were able to upset. I really like that. The score was 18-21. I mean, this wasn't a dominant win. This wasn't like the Giants kicking, the Chargers' ass. But I do like how Jackson Dart, his first game, he was able to get a win. He looked better than J.J. McCarthy, and that's saying a lot. Eagles against the Buccaneers. Guys, I'll be real. I went against the Philadelphia Eagles. I said, you know what? They're like the Chiefs this year. They're going to lose. They're going to lose against my boy Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's going to come in there and just completely kick their ass, fourth quarter. And I was completely wrong. I don't know what it is. I guess the Eagles, looked at the Chiefs and said, hey, what kind of devil magic are you doing? What kind of, satanic rituals are you doing to get really good? And I think they stole the Chiefs' ideas. So that's how they won against this game. 31-25. I'll be real. Baker Mayfield looked ass in this game. That offensive line looked ass. That defense, I mean, guys, the Bucs did not look good at all. And I'll be real, the Eagles look dominant. Jalen Hurts looked good. I mean, that defense was really dominant, really good. And, Baker Mayfield couldn't do his fourth quarter magic. And then another team that I fucking knew it. I knew it. This is why I stick with my opinions. Because the Colts have been on this 3-streak run. Everybody's saying Indiana Jones. They're saying, Daniel Jones is going to be fucking killing everybody in the quarterback landscape. Guess what? Guess what, Daniel Jones? Guess what, Colts? When you go up against an actual good football team, when you go up against a football team that's actually got a legend on there, when you got Matthew Stafford, when you got all these different weapons, you go up against a real football team, you get your ass beat. 20-27. I love seeing the Colts finally lose. It was bound to happen, in my opinion. I'll be real. I love seeing Daniel Jones get his ass beat. He needs it. He needs to be humbled. Good job. 20-27. And then a team that I was really disappointed in was the 49ers. Look, the 49ers have been barely winning football games. I mean, they've been winning by miracles. They need to pray to Jesus if they want to win a football game. And I'll just be real, the Jags look kind of good. I mean, the Jags actually might be a decent football team this year. This was an undefeated team, and when you beat an undefeated team like this, you start getting some eyes on you. Start, really, working up 26-21. I'm disappointed with the 49ers, but I like how the Jags played. Good job, Jags. You did your thing. And then one of the big games, I thought was going to be a big game. I was like, this is going to be a highly competitive game, etc. The Ravens against the Chiefs. I was thinking the Ravens are going to, go crazy, kick a bunch of ass. The Chiefs are going to, do the Chiefs thing. They don't fucking kick ass or nothing like that. Guys, this was the complete opposite. 20-37. The Chiefs are back. I mean, y'all realize last season the Chiefs won every single game by 21 or above. 21 points or above. This is fucking insane. 37 points? That's almost a 40-piece. They almost 40 fucking pieced them. Like my Lions did. My Lions completely fucked the Ravens. And the Chiefs come in here and they completely fucked the Ravens again. I mean, it was beautiful to see. Patrick Mahomes was slinging that goddamn rock. Xavier Worthy's back, actually catching some balls. You even had Travis Kelce not actually injure his own players. He's actually, catching the goddamn ball, so that's really cool. And yeah, guys, I mean, look, I'll be real. The Ravens do not look that much of a threat. Lamar Jackson is getting sacked so many times. He's getting sacked so many times that you can't even count it. I mean, I think he's got 7+ sacks this year already. And plus that defensive line. That defensive line is completely ass. That defense can't protect shit. I'm not trusting that defense winning me any football games, and I don't think they should trust their own defense. Now, another game that, I honestly didn't really care about this game. It was the Bears against the Raiders. Geno Smith against Caleb Williams. Pete Carroll against Ben Johnson, these two coaches. It looked like the Raiders might win this game. And then, the Bears did some, Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, fourth quarter magic. And, I'll just be real. I don't think the Bears are a real deal, but I'm glad that they actually won a football game. These guys need a couple of wins. I mean, I'll tell you, they were losing so many football games that the Ben Johnson post-interview, this man was just going, yeah, my team sucks. Our team's not ready to win the Super Bowl or nothing. So, good thing they got a win. Good job, Bears. And yeah, guys, that's going to end it off for Sunday Night Football for Week 4. Let me know, guys, how y'all feeling about Week 4? I think Week 4 was actually really good. There was a couple of games that I expected to have a little bit more juice to them that didn't. But I do love seeing the Colts lose. I really wish the Dallas Cowboys would have won that match because I want to see the Green Bay Packers suffer. I want to see the Packers, lose all their players because they beat my Lions in Week 1. I just want to see that happen, in my opinion. So let me know how y'all feeling about Week 4 of the NFL. My Pandora people, if you're on Pandora, make sure you follow. We're covering the NFL, and I'm covering the NBA all through 2025, all through 2026. So make sure you follow. We're dropping new content every single day, guys. And if you're on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast at, make sure you follow, turn on notifications, guys. And I'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Actually, I'll see y'all on Monday Night Football. All right, we got 2 games to talk about on Monday Night Football. Yeah, guys. Bye.